Students, today I am introducing Consumers Equilibrium, the second unit of your microeconomics. And here we are going to learn what is the consumer behavior of the individuals. As I have explained in the definition of economics, that economics is also a study of the consumer's behavior towards fulfillment of their needs and wants within the limited resources, and where the resources are limited and the needs and wants are unlimited. Okay, so how do the consumers attain their consumer satisfaction when they consume the different commodities? Okay, is been explained in this particular theory. To explain this theory, Alfred Marshall has used a cardinal utility analysis approach. Okay, and this cardinal utility analysis approach explains the utility, total utility, marginal utility, and the law of diminishing marginal utility. Right? At present, I am just explaining what is utility and what is total utility and marginal utility. Okay. Students, as you know, the market economy depends upon the tools of economy, that is the demand and supply, right? The demand of a commodity is related to the consumer's behavior, as well as the supply of the commodity is related to the producer's behavior, right? Now, who are the consumers? Consumers are the individuals who consume the commodity, right? So when they have the willingness to purchase a particular commodity at the given price and the given time, it is said to be as the demand for the commodity, okay, which has been demanded by the consumers. And when the producers or the suppliers have the willingness to supply a commodity at the given particular price and time in the market, it is said to be as the supply of a commodity, okay, which is related to the producer's behavior. So here we are going to learn the consumer's behavior, okay, we are going to learn the consumer's behavior. As I said, consumers are the individuals who consume the particular goods and services, and the demand for the commodities as well as the goods and services. The main factor while demanding a particular commodity is price, okay, right? So if we are willing to purchase a commodity at the given price, we have to decide what amount of quantity we are going to purchase, or what amount of quantity we are willing to purchase, right, at that particular time period. So that exactly matters in terms of the consumer's satisfaction. So whatever price we pay for the commodity should derive us the maximum satisfaction of that particular commodity when we consume it, okay. This is said to be as the consumer's satisfaction, and this is related to the consumer's behavior, as the consumers are very much rational, okay, towards the consumption of the commodities. They always want to pay less and consume more from the commodity, and when this happens, the state of consumer satisfaction is being attained. But exactly to understand how the consumers derive the satisfaction, Alfred Marshall has propounded this utility approach, which is said to be as the cardinal utility approach. Okay. In this behavior, in which the consumer spend his limited income on various goods and services, right, derives him maximum satisfaction, as I said. Say for example, if I have to purchase a chocolate, okay, and I want to consume this chocolate right now. So what will I do? I'll go to the market. If I don't have it at home, I'll have to go to the market and purchase it. So when I go to the market to purchase it, what will I first see? I will have a choice for that particular chocolate, okay, which of the chocolate I need to purchase. Then I'll go and look for the price of that particular chocolate and how much of grams of chocolate I am getting in that particular amount of price which I need to pay. So if I am satisfied with the price which I'll have to pay for that commodity, okay, I'll purchase it definitely, right, and I will consume and satisfy my need for that particular time period. Okay, so the main aspect is the income which I am spending for purchasing or consuming a particular good, right? So this is how the income and consumption is related to each other, right? And out of my income only I'm going to spend that much amount of money to satisfy my need for a chocolate at this particular time. So according to Alfred Marshall, this consumer's behavior is dependent on the utility. Okay, and what is utility? Utility is a quantitative measure of satisfaction, right? Utility can be measured in terms of utils. So utility is a want satisfying power of a commodity. It refers to the amount of satisfaction the consumers receive from consumption of a good or a service, right? That means if I am consuming a particular fruit, okay, so how much satisfaction when I consume this particular one fruit derives me, okay, that will be measurable, and this is going to show the utility of that particular commodity which I have consumed, okay. And this utility has got certain properties, or you can also call them as certain assumptions. So what are the different assumptions or certain properties of utility? You remember, what did I say? Utility is a want satisfying power of a commodity, okay. So this utility depends upon the urgency or the intensity of the want. That means how much urgent or how much necessary it is to consume that particular commodity or a service at the given time period. Utility is a function of intensity of want, okay, how much I am in need of satisfying my want during that particular period. More the intensity of want implies the higher utility. That means more I feel that I should consume this commodity is going to increase my utility power, okay, is going to increase my sense of utility. For example, a pen gives me more utility during examination than in a summer vacation. Of course, during summer vacations, which for you also are going to start shortly, during that time if I ask you to study, okay, you will not be having that intensity in your mind to study, okay, provided if it is very much compulsory for you to do. So you'll be using your different tools of studies, okay. But during an examination, say for example, if you need a pen, whether it is blue or black, it is very much necessary, right? So it is showing you the intensity to utilize that particular commodity. And when you are satisfied by using this commodity, it is going to show the utility, or you can say the satisfying power of that commodity. So during exams, it is a must that you should have a pen, and that should satisfy the writing of your whole examination during 3 hours, okay. Then utility is subjective. It cannot be quantified. It may vary from person to person. For example, if a person gets more satisfaction from chapatis in comparison to the person who is not hungry, right? Of course, are you getting it? When a person is hungry and he wants to consume a chapati or a paratha, then he will consume it because he is hungry. But at the same time, if the other person is not hungry during that time, then he will not consume that commodity during that period. But whenever he is hungry, he will definitely consume it, right? So it is very much subjective. It depends on person to person. This is what has been explained here, right? Say for example, during the summer season, we are very much in need of the air conditioners or the coolers, okay, which are going to cool our atmosphere in the surrounding, in our house, etc., okay, or in our room, etc. But in the winter season, if we generally don't utilize this air conditioners or coolers. Why? Because the temperature is naturally cool enough, okay. So during the summer season, the utility of these gadgets is definitely more than that when they are not required in any other season, okay. Then utility is measurable, right? How it is measurable? It can be measured in terms of units or numerals, right? Say for example 1, 2, 3, 4. A particular commodity when consumed derives as how much utils. Okay, it can be measured in numbers or numerals. The unit of utility are called as utils, and it is measured in absolute numbers, and this can be defined with the help of the total utility and marginal utility, which we are going to learn a little later on. And in the other approach, that is ordinal utility analysis, right, it has been explained that always a quantity of a commodity can be measured in terms of kgs or milliliters, etc., right? But this always can be ranked. And what is that rank? That we always number them, that yes, this particular combination of a commodity has given me these many ranks. That means you will judge your satisfaction by grading them. So we can always grade, and that type of utility analysis is called as ordinal. It has been explained in terms of the indifference curve approach. But in cardinal utility, Alfred Marshall has explained that the utility, that is the satisfying power of a commodity, can be measured in terms of utils, which can be numbered as 1, 2, 3, 4, etc. Utility is also not essential. Utility is not essentially useful. What does this explain? It explains that higher utility does not always remain greater or give you greater usefulness. Say for example, during the time when you are sick, you definitely need the life-saving drugs. Okay, so the utility of the life-saving drugs when you are ill is very much more than the other times. Otherwise you will not even consume this, right? And at whatever price you get in the market, if the doctor has prescribed you that particular drug, then you have to purchase it and utilize it in order to cure your illness. Okay, so utility is not essentially useful. It is useful only when it is most needed. Okay, so after the session break, children, we will be continuing with the chapter, and then I'll be explaining you the cardinal utility approach in detail and how it has been conceptualized on the basis of the concept of total utility, marginal utility, which is again mainly dependent upon the law of diminishing marginal utility. Okay.